tool that might be helpful in determining where you'd like to go on your exchange is the transfer credit portal. So when we're on our transfer credit page and we scroll down a little bit, you'll see a link to the transfer credit portal here. An important caveat about the transfer credit portal is that it will only show you courses that have been taken at partner schools by UBC students in the last 5 years. So it will be a smaller selection of courses than what is actually available at the partner schools. Oftentimes there are plenty more courses available at the partner school where if you take one of those courses and it's not already in the portal, after you take it, it will now appear in the portal for other students to see and utilize moving forward. But in most cases, what you can do is you can go into course search. I like to search by UBC course because you can filter by the campus. You can also filter by subject and even partner university. If you use the search by partner university tool, then the downside of that is that you can't always see which campus a course has come back to. Increasingly with the introduction of Workday, a lot of course codes have the subject code _O, and so those are starting to appear in the transfer credit portal. However, for the majority of times, if it's a poly course, for example, and it was taken before Workday was introduced, then it might show just poly third, for example, and we don't know if that's a Vancouver or Okanagan approval. So it is important to make sure that you are aware of whether a course has been approved for transfer back to Vancouver or the Okanagan. If it has been approved for transfer back to Vancouver but not the Okanagan, then we need to have that course go through the articulation process. So just because it's been approved in Vancouver doesn't mean that that's how it will transfer back to the Okanagan. Hence why the Okanagan filter is important. But if you're looking for a course, let's say you want to go for a poly course, you can, and you're really flexible on what school it is, you just want to know where poly courses have come back from. Well, you can use this, and you can use a couple of the links at the top, which is also why I like to search by UBC, because these hyperlinks at the top will allow you to sort it alphabetically. So if we click on partner university as an example, it will now sort it alphabetically, and we can go through and see all the courses that have come back for poly at the Okanagan from each of these institutions. And again, there's lots more courses available at our partner institutions. It's just that these are those courses that have been taken in the last 5 years. So looking at Australian National University as an example, if you take Pacific Politics, that course will transfer back as Poly 3rd at the Okanagan. Or if you take Politics of Russia, you'll get Poly 310 credit. So on and so forth as you look through. Another thing you can do is search specifically for a partner university and look to see what courses they've had come back. So let's use Sciences Po as an example. I like the Paris and Reims campus. I specifically recommend the latter because there tends to be a lot more course availability in English at it. If you click UBC course, it'll sort it alphabetically again by the approval that's come back to UBCO. So you can see how those courses have come back and what's going to happen. Now it does get out of sorts a little bit because again, you see the _O or not, but where you see courses, if you take Thinking IR Globally, that's going to come back as Poly 222, whereas if you take Gender and Migration, Conflict and Development, that'll come back as Poly 372. So it's a good way to see all these different things. Now, where the search by partner university option comes into use is if you're looking for a specific course title at a partner school. So let's say you're looking for algorithms course, then you can see where courses have been taken with the algorithms title and what they've come back as. Now, computer science is a good example of where it's a little bit easier to see whether a course has come back in Vancouver or the Okanagan simply because of the course code. So in Vancouver, it's CPSC. So you can see right here, for example, data structures and algorithms came back as COSC 222. So this is a good way of searching for if you're looking for a specific course at a school, you've been maybe looking through that partner website, came across a course that you're interested in, wondering if a student has taken it before, maybe with an example like Sciences Po, you don't want to, I'll just go back to that page here. Maybe with an example like Sciences Po, you don't want to scroll through all the courses that have come back from there because one thing you can't do with this is search by title. You can only go by the UBC course or the partner university. So you can't actually sort it by the title or the partner course code. So you may need to use both search options, but I always recommend, especially in the early days, starting with the search by UBC option because it will just give you a bit of a better example of what's been taken at that partner school by UBC students in the past. One note with the transfer credit portal is that you do not want to log into it until you have been matched to a partner school and are preparing to submit the courses that you're actually going to take at that school. So you'll see here prospective Go Global students. You can find information about previously evaluated courses for transfer credit using the course search tool, which is what I just showed. And just to reiterate, if you do take any of the courses that show up in the portal, then you will receive that associated credit. So again, just as a quick reminder of what I already talked about here, when we look at Introduction to Econometrics with R, you will earn Econ 327 credit so long as you take it before the expiry date.